Hey everybody, this is Kevin Shortell. This is my first posting of a note investment opportunity on this platform, and I wanted to keep it very, very simple. I wanted to keep it very basic so that even a beginning investor who's new to the note side of the industry would understand this investment. And hopefully, as I start to learn the group, we can get more complex. We can get into bigger deals, bigger opportunities in the forms of portfolios. So in this particular one, just a very simple, what I call turnkey note. This is a passive investment that's going to be very safe and secure, yet high yielding. And there's plenty of these opportunities if you know where to look and if you understand how to do the due diligence. So I have done all the due diligence on this one personally. I've looked through everything. I have all of the documentation in my possession from the very beginning of this note, by the way, all the way through to the very current month of April as I'm posting this. Make a note of my email address there because this is a live deal, and if you're interested in this deal, simply send me an email. We'll do a follow-up. We'll get on Zoom, something like that, and I can go through all the documentation with you. So let's jump right in. This is the collateral that's going to back your investment. You're not going to be buying this property. You're going to be buying the lien on this property. This is simply your collateral to the property. So the collateral itself is worth $52,000. Now you'll have the opportunity to get another BPO, anything like that that you want to do before you close on this transaction. But I've used paid sites like PropStream, some of the free sites, Realtor.com, Zillow, all the other ones you're familiar with. And this property should easily be worth $52,000, and it's located in Saginaw, Michigan. The people who are living in this house, the borrowers, have lived in this house since they purchased it 9.5 years ago, and they've been making the payments. So we've got all the payment history that they've shown this ability to make the payments, and that's one of the key ingredients for a turnkey note. These folks have shown for 9.5 years. That's a lot of what we call seasoning in this business, the ability to make these payments and make them on a timely basis. That's an important ingredient to this turnkey note. The story behind this note is also important, and this one's very simple. This property went into foreclosure in 2010. In 2011, an investment company bought that at the foreclosure sale. Once they purchased this property at the foreclosure sale, they renovated the property and then sold it to these borrowers. And they sold it to these borrowers with seller financing. So the borrowers didn't go to a bank or anything like that. However, this note is fully documented to show that they went through the loan application process. And that's also important because that means that they've lived up to the Dodd-Frank standard, which in the seller finance world is this person's ability to pay. So we've seen their income, their credit score, and everything else from 9.5 years ago when they became the borrowers on this property. Since this time, they've been making the payments on this. So I've got all of the documents from the original application, the original loan that was set up, the security agreement on this deal, and this note has been transferred one time. So the original company that bought this as a foreclosure, that renovated the property and sold it, they created a note with the security agreement. That note and security agreement was sold to another party. And I've got all of that documentation as well. There's only been one transfer on this. So it's not some of these notes where you see it's been transferred 10 times to different banks or different financial institutions or even different individuals for that matter. So the background on this note is as simple as it can possibly get. There's also an escrow agreement in there. So not only are the people making the principal and interest, but the money is being held by a servicing company for taxes and insurance. So it's truly a turnkey operation. Remember, you're not a landlord in this case. You don't own that property. You simply own the liens, the claim on that property. So you're collecting monthly cash flow without all the responsibilities of a landlord, and by the way, without the liabilities of the landlord as well. So all of that's in place. All of the payment history is in there as well. So you'll see that they are paying. They are paying on time. Now going back several years, you're going to see where they fell behind a little bit. They caught up, and that's perfectly normal and natural. But they've been great payers for 9.5 years. So what's the investment on this one? Very simply, the investment's $33,000. You're going to receive in exchange for your investment of $33,000, $316.75 for the next 277 months. So this can be a very long-term investment where you're making just under 10% annualized return every single year. Now, the good news here is that that note will probably, this note I should say, will probably pay off early. Most people do that today, right? Most people don't pay off a 30-year loan over 30 years. They pay it off much sooner by selling the property or refinancing at a later date. So there's a high probability that this loan will be paid off early, but if it doesn't, there's also liquidity within the industry where you might own this note for a period of time and choose to sell that note to somebody else as well and recoup your investment, get all the money out of it and the profit that you've made in the meantime. So you can't really look at this and say, boy, my money is locked up for 277 months. No, it can be if that's what you so choose to do, or the loan will be paid off, which is really out of your control because these folks can sell the property anytime they want or refinance it. Your yield, by the way, will actually go up if they do that. Or you'll just decide down the road, I'm going to go ahead and cash out of this note and move on. And you certainly can do that because the liquidity in the market today is the best that it's ever been. It will not be hard to find a buyer for this note. 9.9% annualized return, very, very strong return, especially built into the safety of this. This investment is backed by a property that's worth $52,000. Now, the security instrument on this one's a little different probably than something you've seen, so I'm going to go over that with you, but put you in a perfect position because if they don't pay, they don't stay, and you get the property back. So your investment here is only $33,000 backed by something that's worth at least $52,000. Right? So very, very safe type of return on this. You're not a landlord. You don't have all the hassles. You're simply acting as the bank and collecting that monthly cash flow. Great investment. Chose a small investment for this particular one. And again, if you're interested in more details, we can set up a Zoom. I can go through all of the documentation with you for this investment. The email is right on your screen. I'll also read it for you. It's Kevin@kevinshortell.com. Now notice the spelling there. We pronounce it Shortell, but it's SHORTLE.com, and shoot me an email and I'll be glad to set something up and we'll go over this investment opportunity. Thanks for watching this video, everybody. I look forward to bringing more of these type of deals, but also bigger deals in the form of portfolios to you in the very near future.